This rain and ice is no joke. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jeff here at Ferko Family Farm. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell. Stay notified when we release new videos. Well, winter is coming. We have some stuff here on the farm we have to do in preparation for some winter weather that's coming here in a few days. One of those things is reinforcing the chicken coop, the chicken runs. We got to put some sort of support underneath the tarps in the back so they don't collapse down on our chickens when that snow and rain and I guess ice gets here. So ice is the #1 thing that we're more concerned about with the weight and all that. So we're gonna reinforce this, but before we do that, we're gonna check on the animals. We're gonna go check on the pigs. We have some scraps to give them and get that taken care of. Let's go. Get in here and check on the eggs real quick and see how many we got in there. Are you counting?
9, 10, 11, 12.
16.
I think that's the most we got.
The water looks good here too. Oh, look who's here.
Oh. I can't get out the door shut. You're not getting them?
They're waiting for their afternoon snack, so I guess we'll go ahead and grab some food to give them. We're gonna put some scratch and corn out for the chickens and the roosters here.
Where'd all the corn go? There was a big old pile of corn there this morning.
Yeah.
I put for Daddy.
I wonder if he came here. The daddy duck doesn't stay here with us. We're gonna eventually try to see if we can get him to roost here somewhere, but he's off across the street over down in the neighbor's pond is where he flies off to every night, but he comes out here and usually hangs out during the day for most part. It's the benefit of her being a little bit smaller. She can get in and out of these runs pretty easily. Me, on the other hand, I always hit my shoulders, head, something gets caught on the fencing. Sometimes hide a little bit of this food, some of this scratch up in these logs in roost points. Just gives chickens a little extra something to do, keeps them busy.
They find it. Ooh, piece
Yeah.
of candy.
Since chickens here out in the runs, we keep them out in these individual runs out here because of their safety. We just want to keep them safe from air predators, along with the foxes, the coyotes, and any other ground predators that might be out here that could get to them. So they're all safe in there. The only downside is they're not to be able to free graze out on the grasses that we have out here in the fields. So we randomly will go around at times when we're out here and just get handfuls of grass, clover, and things like that, toss it in for the chickens, and that's what Jerry just did here. She threw a handful or two of grass, and the chickens love it, of course, so they'll tear it up. It's kind of like another snack for them. We feel bad that we can't keep them out on fresh grass to graze and forage, but at least for this flock here, they're going to stay safe and contained in here as they're our egg providers. We may end up getting another flock. We will eventually end up getting another flock or two to put out and about that'll be pretty much free range. We just haven't got to that point yet to do that, but that is coming. Got a bunch of bread and tortillas that are left over from a taco night the other day, so we're gonna bring those, and we have some, I don't know, scraps of other vegetables. Yeah. We got some broccoli and cabbage and a few other things I figured the pigs are gonna like. So
bell pepper, tomato.
Look at that. Got yourself a whole buffet. Where's your other partners in crime?
Don't make a noise.
She's all by herself right now.
Nope, they're coming.
There they come. That'll make them pretty happy for a little bit. All right, let's get down and get this wood going. We'll try to get this chicken coop reinforced to make sure, hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't collapse when the winter weather comes. I've got those 2 long boards up here, so it's gonna take me a minute. Oh, things are so long. Had them up in the rafters so they'd be up out of the way. All right. The goal is to use these two for the roof. Hopefully it works. You get that compost pile moved over by the garden sometime. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I'm 6'2". The tarp's, touching my head here, but in the middle, this is already drooped down. So you'll see me as I'm walking through here. I'm typically keep my head ducked because I don't want to hit on this. So it's already a little low, but the issue is these tarps are pretty worn out and they do need to be replaced, and it's on our to-do list, but not very high up on it right now. But what we want to do, since we got a lot of snow, sleet, ice, all that coming, the precipitation and whatnot, it's going to accumulate on here, and this is going to dip way down. And what we don't want to happen is either side this tarp or the chicken wire here in the net, we don't want this roof to collapse down. So we just had an idea that maybe we would come out here. There is a board going across in the middle of the runs here. I want to go from this board over to the chicken coop, and then from this board to the other side of the runs over there, just as a middle board to kind of hold the weight of the tarps up a little bit better. Now, it's not going to stop all the accumulation on top of these. It's still going to be weighted down and dip down. But the goal is hopefully prevent the roof from collapsing. We definitely don't want that to happen, especially if the chickens are out here and they're out and about. We don't want anything to happen to them. So we're going to try to reinforce that, get those two boards that we pulled from the greenhouse here recently, those two long boards, 2x4s. I'm just going to use those because they're perfectly long for this and they'll do the job. We'll tack those up there, nothing crazy, and that should do the job to reinforce this. I'm going to just set one of these up to get a general idea of where to put it.
They're freaking out.
Yeah, this is the part the chickens don't like. We need to go about right here, right at that little screw that's sticking out here. Right about there. Don't have any nails. I just got screws, so we'll make this work. Just want to see it come through. All right. Now again, no specific science behind this. Literally just going to put this just above the window over here where there's a 2x4 cross member on the inside of the coop. Give us a good solid connection, and then we'll come down and hold this end. But right now I'm just working this up to make sure I can get up here. Somewhere in there. There we go. Now, something like that. We'll get a couple screws on this end. Just set it right up on them roots, right, or them lines. And we'll go just east of that knot right there. How's that for measuring, huh? Whew, that was rough. All right, I'm gonna get this thing up here. Utilize again those vines. I'm gonna work this up. Close enough.
So then we got both sides. You know, again, it's not perfectly symmetrical or level or any of that, and that's not what we're looking for. It's all unique. We kind of course, already incorporated the lay of the land here with the trees and stuff. So just wanted to get the support up here so that the snow and sleet doesn't break this tarp down too bad, and I didn't want the whole thing to collapse down. That was the biggest thing. I think we should be good now. One thing we've done in the past to prevent some of this tarp from sagging too bad and ripping down is just on the low points we put little holes. Again, this tarp wasn't to make it completely waterproof in here. It was more to give shade and to keep some of the water out for the birds when it's raining. But we cut little holes for drainage, so as it's seeping down it should drain. And Jerry just had to do, we had the corner over here, it was all full of this nasty black gunky water, stinks. It was all built up in here, so she just took a screw here since we had one in the runs, and she just poked a few holes to let that slowly drain, because that'll get all nasty up in there. But again, we'll end up replacing these tarps at some point, probably with something a little thicker, stronger, but for now they'll work. That's the first time in here that I could actually stand up like this. Just trying to find where we can use these scrap pieces of 2x4 as like extra purchase here in the chicken runs.
There you go.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's build this other perch real quick while we're here. Oh, knocked my head. All right, Jerry picked out this corner where she wants this. Just have it wedged in between the wires over there. Nothing fancy. We'll just pick a spot that we can set this at. We'll screw it in over here, and chicken's having a little perch to get up on. There we go. And then over here, just want to make sure we're grabbing this okay. There we go, just like that. Chickens have another perch with the scrap board that we used for the roof. The only thing I gotta do now, I have to go in, I'm just gonna put that lag bolt on the inside and we'll be all done with the support. And then I think I'm gonna grab a 2x4 while we have the tools down here at the chicken coop, knock out two birds with one stone, no pun intended, and put the other roost posts in here for them like I did the other side. That way they have plenty of room to roost and get up in the house at night. I've been keeping the heat lamp on out here, and the ambient heat from that is enough to keep it nice and warm in here, almost like if you're inside the house, even though it's really cold outside. So the other roost post is going to be similar to this. I'm going to get a 2x4. I have to go from the cross member here over to the wall like I did here, and then get a 2x4, measure it to go the length of the chicken coop, and then we'll have that secondary one over here. That'll give us 3 roost posts on the sides, one over here at the back, and hopefully we'll continue to deter them from using the nesting boxes to sleep in and roost. For the most part, they're pretty clean, which means they've been staying out except for these last 2, which has been pretty common. Those have been the 2 that they originally started using in the beginning. They started messing up all the boxes, so that's when I was like, I need to figure something out, put up these other roosting posts. So it is working, the roost posts are working, but I want to get the second one up there to add additional space for them. And this is crazy. It's hard to see in here because of how dirty it is. I have to wash this window sometime, but now I can see out into the runs nice and clear. That roof lifted, it's pretty sweet. All right, because the lighting is kind of dark in here, I don't have a lot other than what's on my camera. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut out the pieces to match the other side. Again, it's gonna look like that roost post right behind me. Cut those out, I'm gonna mount it in here, and I'll give an update after it's done. I tell you what, let's just get it done right now. Ready? Boom, and just like that, the new roost post is up. I made this one a little bit closer to the door than the other one. Reason being is because this other one that's here has a kind of a roost post down here, but that's in front of the nesting boxes and it's kind of directly under here. So if there's anything roosting up on here, it's kind of pooping down on top of what's below it. So the goal was, on at least on this side, anything that roosts up here, they're clear of anything that's any other birds that are down here on this roost post. They won't be pooping on each other. So there's that. Got an additional roost post in here. That's good. Now we just gotta wait for all this snow to get here. That way we can really see how our roof's gonna hold up. Have to come back down once it snows and the ice storm and whatnot's here, and just double check to see if our roof's holding up and how the tarp's doing. I could see the tarp potentially fraying or ripping up into pieces because it is kind of really dried out. Not horrible, but we also have a bunch of holes that we cut in it for drainage. So let's wait till the snow gets down here and we're gonna have to come down and check it out, guys. Well, the snow made it here. It changed a little bit. We didn't get quite as much snow as we were expected to get, but even worse, we're getting more ice than expected. There could be quite significant damage to trees and anything that's out here. So I'm gonna go take a look, just double check to see our work at the chicken coop, make sure the roof's good. We still have quite a while of precipitation to come down, so we're gonna have to check on it again this evening, probably later on at dark. Cold out there. I had to start up the side-by-side here, get the air going. Right now I think it says it's 22, it feels like 10 degrees out there, guys. It's chilly. It's nice having a wiper. Whew. Whew. This rain and ice is no joke. So right now, it's actually looking pretty decent. It's holding up all right. That's pretty good. Let me get over here and just double check their food and water. I'm not sure where the other roosters are. They might still be at the barn. Your food. There's another reason too why we have these tarps up here is because this exact reason. We braced all these so that it can hold the weight, because there is going to be a lot of weight. I can already feel a lot of weight on here. But it also gives the chickens somewhere to kind of stay out of the weather, because they really don't like this cold, rainy, wet. They like to be covered. So most of them are just going to be inside the chicken coop right now. Look at this. My concern is by the end of the day, all this is going to be kind of ripping through and breaking. I hope not, fingers crossed. But right now, it's holding up, which is good. Everything's a block of ice. I'm pretty sure they have water on the inside, but I'll go double check and make sure we're good there. Ready? Here we go. Gotta get the weight off of here. There we go, that helps a little bit. Let's go see what the ladies are up to in here. What's up, mister? Where you been hiding? Oh, it's nice and warm in here. Looks like my camera light died again. Hey ladies, you got water in here still? Is this good? They have a little bit of water for now. Everything else is frozen. So I'm just gonna get a pail or something that I can put some food in for them while I'm up here. All right, so I ended up using an old little plastic dish I found outside. I put it in the chicken coop and gave them some food and water. Make sure they're good to go. Let's see if you can see. It's kind of dark in here, but yeah, they're all around the food dish right now eating. That way it gives them some food and water inside. They don't have to go out in inclement weather. Now the roosters, on the other hand, they've been out here shivering. I've been trying to find a spot to get them put up, but they won't cooperate very well. So what I did as a makeshift, just to give them something, I took an old piece of OSB that I had up at the barn. I leaned it up against the chicken coop,
and I ended up putting a bale of hay. I spread it out in there to give them a little bit of bedding to warm up, and then I put a little thing of water underneath there, so the roosters have a little lean-to, makeshift lean-to for the inclement weather to get up in there and huddle down in the hay. I put a little bit of feed and water in there as well, so they're not forced to stay out here in this wet, icy, rainy weather conditions in the low 20s. Okay, now I feel better about the animals. I feel like they got some place to get out of the weather at least, which is good. I just need to go check on the pigs, make sure they're good, maybe put some food and water inside their pen, but we'll have to see how they're doing. Nice and roasty toasty in here. This is awesome. Put the wipers on so I can see. Just like that, let's head over to the pigs. All right, for these other roosters up here, these two kind of stay separated from the other two roosters. And what I did for them up here, I made sure that their hay was bunched up in the back so they could get out of the weather as well. And I also dumped a little bit of food up here for them so they can get out of the wind and weather and tuck into the hay in the back here, stay warm. So the 4 roosters that are out and about should be good to go. Now I know the pigs aren't going to be out because it's pretty windy and nasty. So their water is frozen up, which is what I feared during this really cold day. So we'll have to get a container, get some water put in here for them. What's going on, guys? You huddled up over there, staying warm? All right, how's their food? Their food is good, but like I said, since it's so nasty out, it's gonna be really windy, this really cold and nasty. What I'm gonna probably have to do is get some food and water, and I'll just get some containers, makeshift, temporary, to put in here. That way they can eat inside their pen without having to come out into the bad weather. But see, I don't like this wet. All right, I just have their old containers that we used to use. I put them down on the ground. I'm just gonna go get some food. I'll probably just grab a bag, dump a bag of food in one of them here, and then I'll have to go back to the house and get a couple gallons of water to bring up here, maybe a 5-gallon bucket or something, because all the water lines are froze up here at the barn. All right, I went back to the house and got a 5-gallon bucket of water. I made sure to make it a little bit warmer so that it could last a little longer out here, won't freeze. Go ahead and put this in the pigs, give them a water source for today. Mr. Pig, you're probably out here looking for water, aren't you? Here we go. Let me get your bucket ready. There we go. Now we'll just hopefully they don't spill it. Oh, you're running into me, dude. I did stop by the chickens and I gave them a little bit of extra water too. So they are good down there. Thought I heard a chicken in here. Probably won't dump this whole food, or this whole bag of food in there for them, but just give them something so they don't have to come outside if they don't want to. You didn't spill your water yet, did you? No? I'm probably have to get another 5-gallon bucket because they slurped that water down. Hey, put it down. There we go. Set that there for now. And they tipped it over right away. If I had something I could mount to the wall, that'd be best, that they can't put their snouts under and tip it over right away. Probably go get one more 5-gallon bucket of water and put it in here just to make sure they're good, even though they're probably gonna tip it back over. We'll try to make sure they don't. Hey, it's part of living on the farm. It's part of these snowy, icy days. Just gotta adapt to them and come up with solutions to keep the animals fed and watered. All right, so we got the chicken coop reinforced. That roof is looking good. It's holding up really good against this inclement weather. Hopefully it stays that way. It should. But all of our animals are good to go, and we're just gonna enjoy the day today. Let the kids come out here and do a little sled riding and play in the snow. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Take care.